Hello everybody and welcome back to Vintage Survival. So today, to begin with, I'm going to spray all three fields that we own. They all need to have one final application of fertilizer before they ripen. All three crops I think are on their final or second to last growth stage. It's all going very well. And yeah, the price for eggs is still not great. Well, actually no, it is great. It's £8,000, which obviously you wouldn't complain about. £8,000 for 1,000 litres, but since I have had considerably higher, like 12 or 13,000 pounds, we can't really afford to sell them at that price. Let me just make sure this is working. Yep, fantastic. Good. Yeah, so we're going to have to just wait with the eggs. We now have 2.5 crates. It's really starting to get congested around the egg spawning point, but that doesn't really matter too much. I'm just amazed the price isn't higher after all this time. Maybe somebody's upset with me making so much money out of them. They've had to reduce the price. Because when we do come to sell them again, we are going to make a serious amount of money. Anyway, yeah, today I'm hoping to start harvesting the sugar beet. We do have the 2 implements which are required. First of all, we have to top the field. Secondly, we can then lift the sugar beet out of the ground. I'm going to move on to those 2 mods when we've done this. We have to go and buy them. They're quite old, but I love them. I think they're fantastic. Old-fashioned implements. Okay, so where haven't I been? Obviously I've not been in the centre, but where is the division? It's a good working width, this. I would imagine about here. I would say so. Yep, looking good. And then we'll just go down the other side. Then we'll do number 5 and number 22. It is scary to think there's only a few episodes left of Vintage Survival. Because yeah, I only do it once a week, and obviously Farming Simulator 22 comes out in just over a month. It's only 1 episode a week. So yeah, it's about 4 episodes left. I think it will be 4 exactly. So yeah, we need to really cram in as much work as possible in these episodes, and I think I will do the same thing again, another Vintage Survival series, but not straight away, because it's nice to wait for the mods to come out, the really vintage tractors. I have 34% liquid fertilizer. Is that enough? I think it might be, so I'm going to stick with that. Our second field of sugar beet. I think the last field was wheat, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, it was oats. Oats for the horses. So yeah, that's the other thing. The horses will be breeding. When we get the next horse, we'll be selling it. We actually get 2. Not at exactly the same time, but pretty close together. And yeah, they're going to be sold. But I think it's like £50,000 a horse. The final pass for this field. And the other field, number 22, is even easier, although kind of frustrating because it's just a little bit too narrow to do the whole thing in one pass. But the good news is we have more than enough fertilizer. There we go. Brilliant. So we can now wait for that to ripen. Hopefully it won't take too long. And we finish in... Oh, I have to do the right field. I think... Hang on, which was my field? Must be this one here. Don't want to be doing the neighbour's field, although I'm sure they'll appreciate it. There we go. Yes, you can see it's just not quite wide enough to do the whole field. Looking good. And then we just cross over. And we're done. So I'm going to go and take this back. I'm going to put it into the shed it came out of at the new farm, and then we can go and buy our new implements. I think they're about £3,000 each, which for sugar beet harvesting equipment in this game is very reasonable. And here we are. So I'm going to put it into here. Not the left hand side, that's for grain. Brilliant. So I'm going to use the John Deere just so we can transport everything back quickly. But the John Deere is far too big for it. So it's going to go into the Beet technology section, I'd imagine. There we go. They are both £3,000 each. The topper is 2 meters. The harvester is 1 meter. Makes sense. So yes, we're going to go with... Oh, we can actually get it used. But I think probably in this series here we'll go with new. Quite like the default colours. It just makes sense. So there we go. Purchase those. Get them taken back. I think it'd be lovely to have 2 vintage tractors. Like really vintage tractors. A 135 and the... well, the yellow Massey Ferguson that we have. On this tractor, it looks crazy small. But we have to stick with vintage. And all the other harvesters are modern, so... and also very expensive, so this is what we have to have. There's no rush though. We don't have to harvest both fields at the same time, or one after another is what I mean. Yes, we'd struggle to do it at the same time. Actually, we can afford one of these. Yep, we can afford a 135. That would be really nice. And we'd go with a vertical exhaust. Definitely standard. Yeah, that's lovely. I'm going to buy that. We can sell it again afterwards. I just know we're going to make loads of money in the end. We have all the eggs. We have the horses. That alone is several £100,000. And yeah, so we also have the sugar beet itself, what we're going to be harvesting. So, yeah, we're going to be doing well. We arrive at the field. I don't think it's ready yet, although the crop does look more advanced. No, not ready yet, but it will be very soon. Put the time to times 15. I'll just lower that there. I'm going to go and get the 2 tractors. Obviously I could use the same tractor, but that's boring. We want to make it as exciting as possible. There we go. Brilliant. So yeah, I'll go and get them. We already have one of them here. Go and get this little beast. Yeah, since Survivor Roleplay has now ended for 19, we can definitely use this. Here we are. Not ready yet. I think it's very close. So yeah, topper is required first. This is the topper just over here. So that's ready. And then we'll put the yellow one onto the harvester. Don't think I need the front loader attached. So we'll take that off. Whoops, never turned with that in there. Although I think I have managed to get it stuck before, even when pulling out straight. Yeah. Off you come. There we go. Brilliant. It's ready. Okay, so here we go. Start it up. Fantastic. So that's going to take all the foliage off, all the leaves, and leave the beet behind. It can go quite fast too. Satisfying. Very satisfying. So yep, just got to go over the field. I'm going to do this whole field first, and then we can decide what we're going to do next, whether we work in field number 22 or we go straight to the other sugar beet field. I think this is more fun actually. Even though it's going to be so much slower, it's definitely a more fun way of harvesting the sugar beet. Because yeah, that huge sugar beet harvester is obviously impressive. It's not exactly satisfying. Watching it shred all the foliage like this, that's fun. Although having said that, I would not want to do a massive field, as that would take an extremely long time. Yeah, that looks so good. And it just, the tractor fits in so well. Well, that is a very smart looking field. Definitely leaves a very nice clean finish. Lovely. So yeah, the next thing is to harvest it. That's not going to pick it up, it's just going to lift the crop out of the ground and then sort of put it to one side, I think. I think it pretty much makes a swath of sugar beet. It's like the potato harvester. Very similar sort of idea. Just need to find a way of picking them up. There are different mods out there. There's the one in the in one of the most recent DLCs, but that's a bit too, well, it's far too modern, it's brand new, so yeah, I can't be using that. I'm gonna probably, depending on yield, just use a bucket. It seems to be the best way forward. The final bit, here we go. Always lovely using this tractor. I think I do prefer to use the smaller and more vintage machines in Farming Simulator. I'd probably say the opposite in real life. I don't know, it's just something about it is so fun in a game. Although yeah, using the vintage stuff in real life I'm sure is still very fun. But I do like modern machinery as well. Okay, right, well there we go. We're done. I'll turn it off. We'll go and park it over here. And we'll get the other one fired up. Beautiful day. Hello horses. They seem to be doing well. So which side is he going to put them? Oh, maybe it just makes a big swath in the middle. Judging by this gate here, I'd say it's going to make one in the middle. I might have to press unload here. Yep, there we go. And we can harvest at 3 miles per hour. So, yes, this makes it look like a really big job now because it's 1 meter smaller than the topper and it can only do 3 miles per hour. As a time-lapse, that's not going to be an issue. I'm not using the mod which allows you to remove the speed limiter. Wow, it's dusty, isn't it? Very dusty. Crikey. Let's get a view from the seat. First person view. You can see the sugar beet being swirled. Yes, I don't think the side of this field is actually 100% straight, so I'm going to have to keep turning a bit. But not to worry. Okay, I'm going to get this time-lapse started up, see how we go. Ooh, yeah, it's actually not a very neat swath at all. I'll try it here. Try and stay in a perfect line, perfectly straight line. Yeah, that's neater. I think it's because the ground wasn't level. Okay then, yeah, so we'll do a bit more. I'm never going to be able to complete this field in a time-lapse, just one time-lapse. As you can see, not fast. And now we seem to have stopped. And maybe the tractor actually isn't big enough. Maybe I should put it on a bigger tractor. Well, I can only think of the Ursus. Right, so obviously it's working, but yeah, I'm really not liking this current setup. Tractor's too physically big, and it should be on row crop tyres. So yeah, I did take a look. I don't think you can put this tractor on row crop tyres. I'm gonna have to. I think actually it's probably about time we sold the Ursus. It's been fantastic, but it's sort of not the tractor I require anymore. I could do with something which is probably a similar horsepower, physically smaller, and obviously has the option of having row crop tyres. So let's go and take a look and see what we can get. Maybe a Zeta, possibly. Yeah, since we do have quite a lot of sugar beet to do, I'd prefer to do it properly. Repair that. I thought it was worth more than that. In that case, we might have to sell the eggs so that we can afford something different. So, yeah. I do have quite a selection. Something like this would be fantastic. Imagine that. That would be so good. Although, I don't know if you can change the wheels. Yeah, none of these seem to have row crop tyres. Okay. What else do we have? A very old Ursus here. Although, yes, it needs to have... It needs to be big enough to have traction, that's the issue. Look at that monster. Probably after all this, that one will be able to have row crop tyres. No. It looks like not many can then. Interestingly. Maybe something like... Well, look at that, 390T. That can. That is absolutely perfect. But we can't afford it. We would need £46,000. Ah, look at that. There's a great demand for eggs. It doesn't mean it's at its best price though, definitely isn't, but that is much higher than it was before. So let's just go and sell them. I can't wait forever. It's still going to be worthwhile. This is the Leaning Tower of Eggs. Come on, Eggmobile, you can make it. Let's go without tipping over. It's just asking for trouble. Stacks of egg boxes. It's just the most fragile thing you could ever transport. There's probably something more fragile. risk of hitting trees as well. It's impressive, considering the height. It is quite stable. Right, so let's make our money. It's going to be, at a guess, what would it be? About £50,000. It's probably going to be exactly what we require. Yeah, we'll be able to buy the 390T. It's weird, all the survival roleplay tractors suddenly are required. All over on this series. Right. So we'll just get them into the trigger. In the most delicate way possible. Ooh, very good. Actually, this can probably stay here for now. I'll go and get the 390T. We'll configure it to have the row crop tyres, and I think everything else is fine. We don't need to go with any other settings. I know we could buy it used, but I just don't really want to do that on this series. So I'll see you over there and we can give it a test. But yes, we're going to be doing the rest of this in the next episode. Next episode, hoping to completely harvest the field, which won't be too hard to do, and it would be good if we can clear the field. It's going to come down to how long that takes, obviously. It comes down to how much we can fit in a bucket, or how much of the field can be scooped up in one bucket load. Right, so let's just give this a go. I would have liked to have a Zeta, I really would. I think it would have been good. Just needed those row crop tyres. And also, I might be using this implement wrong. It seems to come out on the left side more than the right. Seems better going downhill. Well, the hill is nothing to do with it, it's just, yeah, this side seems to be the way to be positioned. Oh, hang on. There we go. Well, that's good. Although, I am still... If I was any further right, I'd be running on that pile of sugar beet. And on the left, I am actually running over the crop. Kind of. So... I don't know, I think it probably is best off on a cabless tractor. Maybe the first tractor was fine. It was just getting stuck on the hill, I guess. It looks good though. Looks like a really nice setup. First person view. Look at this crisp tractor. Brand new paintwork. So what I'll do is I will get back to the top, grab the JCB and see how much we can fit into a bucket. Our bucket isn't that big because it's a... Well, actually I say that, it is big for what it is. The JCB telehandler is classed as a front loader in the bucket category, but we are using the Bio-Belts bucket, which is much bigger than any of the standard ones. So if I go right up against that pile, yeah, it seems to be working. I'm not as neat on this side. Much neater on that side. That crow stole my sugar beet. It swooped down. Okay, so it is actually missing a line now. I am close to the edge. Oh well, it's good enough. There we go. So here is my bucket. Just back that up a bit. Yeah, it's I don't know, is it 4,000 litres? I know it's quite decent. So how much of this can we clear in one sweep? It's not looking too bad actually. It's just like doing the potatoes. Yeah, that's fine. It will take a bit of time to clear, but it could be so much worse. 3,800 is the capacity. That's good. That's very good. So yeah, we'll be straight back into here next time. Please do give me some feedback. Could I have done something differently? Could I have used the machine differently? Would you have gone for this tractor? Let me know. But yeah, I love the implements. Really good. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you've enjoyed it, and until next time, see you again soon. Bye for now.